Hello everyone, I'm Kailozo, and we're back with another episode of Opus Magnum, episode 9 in fact, and we're here at chapter 5, it appears to be the last chapter. We're here overlooking the entire city. We're developing a plot with Clarisoria, and things are getting a little intense now. Colvan seems to be on to us, or at least the fact that we're out there. Opposing plots, chapter 5. Let's see, we have an invitation here. Let's see what it is. I assume for the ball. You are invited to the Fortunatus Ball, the celestial ballroom, the grand observatory of House Soria. Guests of honor, Tero Colvan of House Colvan, Lania Prus of House Montfort, Seno Juvenal of House Juvenal, and presenting Clarisoria of House Soria. Music, Orchestra Cuvier, the Soria Ensemble. Entertainment, the Right Baron's Players. Seance will. Farron, it's my understanding that alchemists must pass a difficult course of study at the Imperial University, and therefore only a very small number graduate. That is correct. And therefore, alchemists tend to keep track of each other, even as they spread out across the city. Oftentimes. It follows then, would it not, that the alchemist of a house like House Colvan would be aware that another house like House Van Tassen had a new alchemist? Tero, I see where this is going, and I want to say, and yet, I'm surprised to say that my alchemist somehow neglected to keep this in mind, and did nothing to detain or incapacitate him during this time. How strange, don't you think? I've explained this. We made our best attempt, but he has slipped away somehow. If you'd notified me sooner that the shipment of ore was missing... Excuses! I only hear excuses from you. Please, young Tero, must I remind you that your father and I... My father should have gotten rid of you long ago. You're not fit to mention his name. You fancy yourself a strategist, but your counsel is worth even less than your alchemy. Leave me. You're making a mistake, Tero. I said, leave. Oh, jeez. What a bunch of things, my goodness. Mist of hallucination, timing crystal, voltaic coil, unstable compound, and curious lipstick. Let's see, 5 expos for now, and probably a couple on the way at least. Let's get started with the first one. When you first suggested getting a mannequin, I thought you were joking. I wasn't. It was useful for finishing Clara's dress, wasn't it? Yes, it was, but I hardly expect you to consider such matters. Now that the dress is done, we could dispose of it. No, I'll have use for it just as soon as I finish this formula. Should I be alarmed? No. Or maybe, but only a little. But the name like Mist of Hallucination, how can you go wrong? Alright. This is our output. It's a thing. A chain of air elements. And we've got lead, and over here's tin. And this is like an interesting thing. Not too hard to create in the grand scheme of things, but definitely like optimizing this will be tricky because it's such a weird shape. Like it's kind of funky here. It's hard to tell where exactly you want things to go. So we're gonna have to deal with this glyph of projection, probably some glyphs of bonding, and we'll figure it out. All right, catch you on the other side. Okay, I do believe I have the solution here. This right here will create like a little line that goes up here and one that goes right here, and that'll be bonded with the tin, create this half over here. This part will bond with that part, and then the lead goes over here. Lead purified to tin, tin drop right here, and then the whole thing gets rotated over. Like it'll situate like this on top of the thing. So, let's watch it in action. Oh, okay, so it starts looping. I have to let it run a little bit longer. Let's try a little bit extra. Oh, goodness me. The other thing I can do, which honestly might be a better solution for this one, is just make it move. Well, no, it'll still interfere. Let's try 4. Alright, that'll do. Maybe 3. I can't resist it. Yep, okay. Again, could definitely be faster. Not streamlined in any means, but it works, and that's the important part. Alright. During the battle with House Colvan, I created a mist intended on making outposts inaccessible even if we could not adequately defend them. I remember that. Are you planning a similar strategy? Something like it. The enclosed environment here is a better place for it anyway. I still can't imagine it delaying someone for long. It's not really for delaying. We should be long gone before anyone gets here. You have a more obscure purpose in mind. I do. You'll see. Keeping your cards close to your chest, huh? Timing crystal. I used to believe that alchemy could solve any problem. And you don't believe this any longer? Not at all. Look at all the good my alchemy has done thus far. Perhaps you picked the wrong problems to solve. At the university, there's the sense that nothing is beyond alchemical science. By learning to practice alchemy, you're achieving total mastery over the world. It's an appealing viewpoint. Appealing, but wrong. He's kinda become more nuanced in his views. And I've becoming slightly more overwhelmed by his views. What is this again? What am I making? Timing crystal fragment. Great. Alright, so let's figure out ways to break this into stuff that I can make sense of. Obviously, we got golden center. It's pretty similar to the alchemical jewel. We've got one centerpiece, and then maybe we can get this like sort of triangle-like thing prefabbed and then slotted in, and then you could have it sort of bonded like so. No, there's a lot going on. This might take a little bit, might take a little tweaking to work out, but I'll get it done, don't you worry. I'll see you when that's, yeah, I'll see you when that's done. Okay, I think I have a working solution. Once again, it's sort of just applying bits to it and rotating it around. Hopefully this works. Oh, okay, it looped around again. Let's see, so this one's, yeah, it's looping. We needed to wait until at least like here, I believe. Right here. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so there's a problem. I have an extra bond here. I believe that happened when I rotated it this way. So this arm's placement has to move. What if I moved it here? Would that solve the problem? I think it would. Or if I moved it here. Let's go with right here. Alright. It's a very vertical design apparently, but hey, if it works, it works. Just trying to get something on the board here. There we go, it's working. There we go. I'm sure of it now. Alchemists believe far too strongly in their own abilities. Perhaps you can inform your colleagues of this new conclusion. Ha! A quaint notion. They'd never let me lecture at the university, not at my estate. And it's not a message they'd want to hear. That's a shame. Outside views are important to consider. Outside views. Yes. Quite far from the center of alchemical engineering today. Strange to think how quickly this happened. Perspective requires distance, doesn't it? Voltaic coil. I had never thought alchemy particularly dangerous before, but now I see why it was once so feared. It's an alarmingly powerful art. There's a good reason alchemists must be licensed before they can practice. Would you consider yourself licensed at the moment? That's a special circumstance. By all rights we should be dead, so I doubt it matters now. Alright, it's an infinite chain, and look at that. My goodness. That's a thing. We've got lead in a sort of crisscrossing pattern with fire and salt bound to the side. If we're looking at like the part that repeats, it's basically this layer and this layer combined, and it binds next to each other. This is, speaking honestly here, it looks scary. Like, it looks like something that's a pain to deal with. And I'm certain I can find a solution, but I think optimizing this will be quite challenging. It might be pretty fun for area, but I imagine for cost and especially for speed, this is going to be a pain. But we're going to back away from a challenge, and well, we've got a voltaic coil to be making anyway, so let's get down to that. Catch you on the flip side. Okay, I think I have a solution. That actually turned out being a lot simpler than I thought. Definitely not optimized, but like pretty fast, all things considered. I think it works pretty efficiently too. Let's give it a watch. The idea is to, you know, have this part churn out the part that we need, except with fire on both ends, and then this part brings it up here, drops it down in the back, this one brings it up right there, nestles the two together, and then bonds for days. I like it. Oh, it looks like there's a way to get under 50 cycles. Of course there is. There always is. There's always a way to get under 50 cycles. Oh, my goodness. But I'm very satisfied. That was a blind... I just started making it, and it worked really well, so I'm happy. Imagine, though, if ordinary people could use alchemical engineering in the service of their own well-being. Not at all certain that would go well. Besides, even an alchemist can't reverse the momentum of the world. But if there were a group of alchemists all working to the same end, things could change dramatically. Perhaps, but I very much doubt you could get two alchemists to agree on anything, let alone many of them. Heh. Ooh, let's see, about time here. Alright, we'll push on through one more. Unstable compound. Concordia, can I ask an odd question? If you must. Are you still driven by this idea of revenge? Yes, certainly. When I recall what happened, I feel anger as raw as the day it happened. House Colvan ruined us and killed so many. For what purpose? I owe it to the memory of those lost to see some manner of requital done. I see. Fortunatus, what had prompted you to continue down this path with me? I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much. We've come quite a long way for you to remain so unaware. I suppose it's a matter of who I am. Were it not for our goal, what reason would I have to exist? I must practice alchemy. It's my purpose. Unstable compound indeed. That's a thing. We've got those triplex bonds again. That's how those are bonded together. And strangely, it's done in a way so that each of these is like an interesting bond. I've never had that happen before. And then we've got salt all over this. Goodness, how can I do this? Well, there's gotta be a way, so we'll figure that out, I suppose. Oh, goodness me. I'll catch you later. Okay, that took a while, but I think I have a solution for it. Let's just pray that it works. Oh, it does. Okay. Goodness. Took a lot of effort to figure out. Alright, but we finished it. We beat it. That's what matters. There. Does this look suspicious to you? Now that you've asked, I can't help but see it in the light of suspicion. But if you saw it on its own without my having asked, would you think it suspicious? Perhaps I wouldn't. It's difficult to say without seeing it in place. We'll have to trust that Nils knows how to place a charge unobtrusively. I have a feeling he's seen his share of this type of work before. And you're sure he knows where to place them? Clara's seen to that. She somehow obtained a map of all of House Colvan's properties, including their guard posts and armories. Ah, of course she has. I'll enjoy watching the neighboring houses rush in to claim Colvan's properties as their own. It's a fitting retribution. Alright. Well, that went longer than I expected for real this time, but we got through 4 different puzzles. Looks like we've got maybe like 3 left or so. We're almost at the end. Probably one more episode for final bits of the main story. Hope to see you on episode 10. Kailoto, out.